Emergency, emergency, emergency. We got an F75 on a vaillant. What are we saying? Pump or pressure sensor? Let's go in and find out.
Yo, what is happening, everyone? Yes, I have emptied half my van out today because my van is in for a service. So it means I've taken today off to catch up with paperwork, admin, more importantly, my tax return, because we know 31st of Jan is around the corner now. And yeah, we want to make sure that we are paying the right amount of tax and everything. So just taken today whilst the van's in for a service to just get all that stuff done. I said to you guys, I'm going to get a YouTube video out today. I know it's going to be a bit late, but I'm getting one out today. Hopefully carry on with the 2 videos going forward. Today's one is, I think we've got a couple more videos back from December before Christmas. And then I've got some footage for some new jobs that I've done in the new year as well. I hope you're all doing well. I'm still not getting home before 9 o'clock. I think last night I didn't get home till 10:30 even. So yeah, silly season is still in full swing. It's still madness out there, but we're surviving. We're doing it. I've had a few comments from people saying, oh, you know, I need to manage my time better and stuff. Yes, I do. But at the same time, this is silly season for us. Our work is seasonal. We work hard during the winter period. We make most of our year's income when it's busy like this, so that when the summer comes and it gets a little bit quieter, we can go on holiday, take a bit of downtime, spend time with the family and stuff like that. Making some sacrifices this time of year to be able to enjoy time with the family later on. Got the little man having his nuggets and then going to get him ready for bed. Nikki's on her way back with the baby, which I'm looking forward to seeing her. Both of them actually. I'm going to get this edited before they get back. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys soon. Also, yeah, before I forget, I did a short the other day, the FLX-125. It's on a special launch price only for this week, where you can get for 25 quid. Normally it is 40 quid, but it is a fantastic light. I mean, it's got a flexible head on it. Obviously, it's got a light on the end of it. But the biggest thing about this is because the light end is magnetic, if you drop a screw somewhere down the back of a boiler, or you drop like your set of grips or anything like that, I mean, look, you can see how I can't even get that off. It's a pretty strong magnet on there. I'm going to put the link in the description. So if you want to get one, click that link. You can get one for 25 quid. You can get 2 for 50 quid. And if you use my code UNCLE and you want to buy anything else from Unilite, you will get another 25% off as well. So yeah, hope that helps you guys out, and I'll see you soon. Okay, you guys might remember this job from a little while ago where I fit this new radiator. Been recalled back here because there's a bit of a weep coming from where the tail was made into the rad. So initially we thought it was a press fitting, but that's all fine. It was actually just dripping from here. So I'm back here today. I've shut this side down. I'm gonna shut the other side down as well. Drain the radiator out, take the tail out, and I'm just gonna make it in with Loctite 55 thread, and then make that back in. And I'm gonna try and do it sort of semi-live, because I'm gonna set the deblower kit up so that as it's draining, it's gonna be pumping the water straight out. So that way I may not even have to wait for the whole radiator to drain out, because if I can wind the tail out whilst it's draining and Loctite it up and put it back in, then yeah, I may not have to wait for the whole thing to drain out. So let's see. Right, let me get this all set up. Alright, we're all back up to pressure. Radiator's been bled. I've put the heating on as well just to test, and everything is nice and dry now. Hopefully that's the last of it. But yeah, that kit came in handy today because it allowed me to basically carry on working without having to wait for the whole thing to drain down. Whenever that got full, just pumped it out into the downstairs toilet, which is just in there, and I was able to do it in no time at all. So hopefully I don't have to come back here for a similar issue. Fingers crossed. Let's see.
Emergency, emergency, emergency. We got an F75 on a vaillant. What are we saying? Pump or pressure sensor? Let's go in and find out.
Right, here we go. We've got F75. It was either going to be the pump or the pressure sensor. I've got both with me, but I reckon it's just the pressure sensor. That's because the customers just said to me that it was working earlier today. If it was the pump, it wouldn't be working at all. We're going to get the case off. We're going to make sure that the pump is spinning. Have a look at the pressure sensor. And if it is that, well, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the boiler out and we're going to check what the pressure reading is on the digital gauge. If that shows that there's still pressure in it, then yeah, we know it's a pressure sensor. So let's get the case off and let's have a look. Okay, I've just reset it and I can feel that the pump's spinning. So we know that's good. Let's get it drained out and let's just swap the pressure sensor over and then we should be sweet. Okay, 100% it's the pressure sensor because we can see on there, the analog gauge is now showing 0. AAV is letting air in. That is solid, so I need to recharge that. But even with the empty, we're still reading 2.1 bar on there. Evidently, it's the pressure sensor. So I'm going to recharge the expansion vessel, get rid of the rest of the water in the boiler, swap out the pressure sensor, purge it, and get back up and running. Right, so pressing the shredder valve, there's no air coming out there. So that is flat as a pancake. The good thing is there's no water coming out of it, which means that it's not ruptured. But it does need recharging. And yeah, look, 0. So let's get that going. Oh, that is really full because it's not even allowing the air to go in. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's trying. I'm gonna have to give that a few pumps to try and get it going. Right, the pressure sensor on these is around the back there, so easiest way is on these ones, you've got the side panel casings, so you can pop them off. We are quite close to cupboard here, so I'm going to see if I can do it without taking the side panel off. Definitely need to get the snorkel off to gain access to it. That's where our pressure sensor is, and normally I can just get it out from here. Right, that clips out. And when I take this out, there's going to be probably a bit more water that will gurgle out. Maybe not, because I think the expansion vessel, we've got rid of it all. Yeah, that is completely choked up. That isn't. Normally you want to check in there as well, because sometimes you'll find that the actual hole where the pressure sensor sits in, that gets caked up as well, but that's not the case on this one. It is just the sensor itself. This can be a little bit fiddly. To get the connector plug out, so that's off. Dab of silicone grease around the O-ring, always helps. Right, and then, well, you can do it 2 ways. I usually pop this in first, and then I'll put the connector block in afterwards. Where did I put the clip now? Here. Doesn't matter because it comes with a new clip anyway. In case that happens. Right, got a new clip. Don't drop this one. This is the only fiddly bit about this pressure sensor, is trying to get that clip in from the side without dropping it like I did the first one. Okay, we're in. Connection is on, and now first we want to check. Bingo. You look at the pressure reading now. That's saying 0 bar. So that means pressure sensor is working. So now I'm going to shut the drain off. We'll get this back up to pressure. We'll purge it, and then we'll test it. Okay, so we're back up to pressure. Just put into P0. So I'm going to let the boiler go for its purge cycle. Pop the snorkel back on and test that. Luckily, AAV is all good. Vessel's all good now. So I'm just going to mark up here what I've done today. There we go. Pump's coming back in, and that's also jumped up to 1.9 from 1.5, which is good, which means that the pump has created the spike in pressure and the pressure sensors recognize the spike in pressure. So we're going to be back up and running once this is all purged out. There we go. Let's come on. What's the hot water temperature set to? 46, that's fine. Heating flow, 75. Right, that should be coming out hot in a minute. Yeah, I can feel that's getting warmer. Job done. Thank God for Screwfix and the extended opening hours, which means I can place my order. Yep. I've got a toilet to repair. I know, sorry you can't see me right now, but I've literally just got here. It's 8:10. Luckily, they shut at 9. I am going to quickly place this order. The reason I'm doing it on here is because I can pay with my Amex, and you can't pay with Amex in store, so at least I get some points. Right, let me get this order placed and processed, and let's go and sort this toilet out. Okay, this is the last job of the day. What is it? Yeah, it's 8:30. So luckily I just picked up those bits from Screwfix for this toilet. So I've got a leaking fill valve, so I'm going to swap that out for a Fluid Master one. It's a straight one. That doesn't work, so I've turned the mains off downstairs. I'm going to fit a boiler fixer probably just after there, I reckon. And then just put a flexi on from there, and probably just reuse that bit of copper, put a flexi on, and then go straight on. Because there's nowhere over here for me to put the isolation valve, which is going to be accessible, so I'm going to cut it there so you can get to it straight on there. So on this side, yeah, it's not going to be easy to get to. So we'll cut the ISO valve in there, and then do what we need to do. Yes, I know I can use a wet vac, but I can also use this. There we go. Get rid of the rest of the water in there. And that little deblower tray, flexible tray thing, is really handy for that. Right, there's a new fill valve made up. Just put a dab of silicone grease in this. So I'm just going to smear that around. We'll pop that in, and then I can make up the rest of the connections under there. Okay, water's back on. Just do a little test. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, what I'm going to do on this side, I'm going to put my, where's it gone? This flexi. So I'm going to use a 1/2-inch thread on this side. I'm going to cut this bit of pipe. Now, that was a pipe that I cut off from there. Put the 50mm compression on one end, and then slide that in to that end, and then do that connection up there. That way, I'm not having to fight behind the toilet to try and do up this connection. So that's what I meant. I've just cut that bit of copper down, made that compression onto there, and now what I do here is I'll just make that end onto there. Just
roughly for now. I'll tighten up in a bit. So now, just need to put the nut and olive on that side, tighten that up there, and then turn the water on and test this all. Alright, that's all done. I actually ended up cutting that copper back even shorter so that now there's just a nice natural bend on there. So now the moment of truth. Let's put the water on nice and slowly. Okay. No leaks from there or from the flexi. Now obviously just got to let this fill up. Make sure it doesn't go over the overflow. And then once it's full, I also want to make sure that we've got no leaks coming from the bottom of the cistern where the fill valve actually sits in there. So give that a minute to fill up. Test it and we'll come back to it. Okay, we're full of water and that's just below the overflow, so that's fine. Nothing's leaking on there, nothing's leaking there, and nothing's leaking down here. Dry tissue test. No, that's all good. All right, let's flush it. Nothing else is leaking. I've not disturbed anything else, and that's filling up again nicely. Always not concerned, but where they're so far in the corner, sometimes the float valve gets caught in there, so I've had to turn it this way to make sure that it doesn't get caught on the actual edges of the cistern. I'll let that fill up one more time. Yep, that's fine. And again, we're good. So I'm happy. Right, what's the time? 9 o'clock. Half an hour to get this done, but we're done. Let's go home.